Today is July 23rd, 2024, 6:37 p.m. We're going to show that the springs have opened into the Helotes Creek on Sam's Ranch. As you can see, look at this beautiful crystal clear water. Our springs are flowing from up top, going down into the creek. William B. Krimkoff has always said he purchased this plot of land because the headwaters of Helotes Creek started on his land. And we're going to show you exactly where those headwaters are, which are here and a little bit further up. We're going to walk the creek bed up to show you. These are the main springs that we just looked at, but we have some other springs a little further down that we're going to walk you through. Woo, crystal clear, cold water. We're going to walk you all the way through down to the other side where you can see that the land coming into Guajolote ends. There is no water that flows in from the Guajolote. It is nothing more than a runoff bed that comes into Sam's Ranch. So you see here, we still have a nice little trickle of water coming into the creek from springs that are a little further up. Here's one of those springs up in here. You can see where the water is coming out and flowing down. Nice trickle of water coming from the underground spring right here. You'll notice that springs are open and flowing into Helotes Creek. Unfortunately, this is going to be a problem if they allow the water to come down, because this has created a barrier. But you'll notice that all of the water that's flowing basically starts here forward. Now we do have some standing water over here because we have a little bit of springs that open up on this side. So you can tell this is a little bit more standing water, more of a collection. It's kind of gross and murky. So it's more like holding it from the previous rain, unlike back there where you could see the water flowing and it was crystal clear. So we're going to come up in here, come over some fallen brush. This is the last spring that flows. It's right up in here, because you'll see we still have water all the way up to here. This is the point where we have the last spring, which is right here. You can see it's a small trickle, but because it can't get past that rock barrier, it's caused a backup. But you can see how crystal clear this water is with a slight water flow. Backing up. Now, from here forward, it's basically dry. This is what we've always contended, that for the most part, what's coming into the Guajolote is dry. You'll see we have a few springs still popping up here. But as we continue to walk, there's nothing back here. Completely dry, 100% dry. So when TCEQ did their assessment, they kept saying, well, that was the Helotes Creek. That's where the headwaters were. Absolutely not, and this proves it. There is nothing more than wash. A dry creek bed with not an ounce of water, Not one spring flowing. It's dry, 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 dry. All the way back to the point where it goes into Guajolote. Again, nothing more than a runoff bed that flows into where the springs are located. Nothing, as you can see. A little bit of where rainwater just collected. No active working spring. Continuing to walk the creek bed. To where the entry point would be coming in from the sewer system. Again, nothing, dry, dry as a bone. This would be horrible for the state of Texas to allow sewage water to be run into a creek where they've not done a full assessment. They said it's a dry creek bed. It won't impact the environment. I beg to differ, and this shows it right here. There is no water, literally no water flowing down this part of what they consider the Helotes Creek. And it absolutely is not. You'll also notice nothing but dirt banks. Dirt banks on both sides. 1 million gallons of water a day in this little thoroughfare right here is going to erode these banks. But we're continuing to the entrance point. Look how narrow this bed gets. Nothing but dirt, dirt. And this is where they want to dump it. Again, another little pond of nothing but stagnant water, just collected the rainwater. And they want to bring in, dump right there. Right there is where they want to start dumping from their land into this creek bed. How sad is that? That the state of Texas can't even do a thorough enough analysis to determine that what they deem the Helotes Creek is actually not. It's nothing more than a creek bed, a runoff that flows into the headwaters of Helotes Creek. This is where the water will flow in. As you can see, it's a dry creek bed. We've always contended that the springs are at the other side of the property. You saw the springs flowing, but here there's nothing but a dry creek bed. The headwaters of the Helotes River is back there where we showed the springs open. Not this stretch of land that they've assessed where they're going to think they can dump the shit water. Because again, they didn't look to see where the true springs are. There is nothing from there all the way down to where the springs first start.